Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tate's celebration, Alex's invitation, Kate's promise, and Holly's consequences. The Thursday, April 4th spoilers for Days of Our Lives hint at some intriguing and dramatic scenes in Salem. What are the expectations for fans? It's time to really go dramatic. Now that the truth is known, Holly Jonas is going to pay a price for her deeds, Tate Black is having a celebration, Alex Karyakis is going to send a fascinating invitation, and Kate Roberts is making a promise to someone special. Holly Jonas deals with the results of her behavior. Thursday, April 4th, day teasers indicate that Nicole DiMera will give Holly a speech about the repercussions of her behavior. It appears that the teenager may face consequences for lying about the medications she took on New Year's Eve, which put her in a coma. Is Nicole able to communicate with her daughter? It will be up to the fans to find out. In other news, DOOL teasers for Thursday, April 4th suggest that Tate and his parents will be celebrating the child's release from his halfway home and return home. Brady Black, Teresa Donovan, and the teenager have all had a difficult journey, but it appears like their nightmare will soon come to an end. Speaking of Teresa, the Thursday, April 4th day's spoilers indicate that Alex will invite her to move in with him. Will she consent? After all, she was expecting a marriage, but Alex wasn't ready, which is why the two broke up. Will Teresa have envisioned the step as the one that comes next? Last but not least, Thursday, April 4th DOOL teasers suggest that Kate will vow to exert every effort to assist Lucas Horton, Brian Dattilo, in being freed. What does this entail, and how far will this mother go to make sure Lucas is able to move on from this situation? In other developments, Paulina Price discusses Marlena Evans' impending therapy with her. Will Salem's mayor show signs of fear, or will she have faith in the system? Xander's twist for Rafe is Jada's worst marriage nightmare. The spoilers for Wednesday, April 3's Days of Our Lives spoilers tease that Xander Cook showed Sarah Horton his results because his own jogging suit's stripe thickness didn't match the track pants on the surveillance footage. Xander provided Sarah with images to compare and demonstrated that, in contrast to Xander's ubiquitous, inexpensive track trousers, the suspect in the video was dressed in an expensive designer suit. Following Sarah's compliments on Xander's intelligence, they made their way to the Salem Police Department to inform Rafe Hernandez about Xander's finding. Rafe and Jada Hunter arranged to go to the pub together in Rafe's office, but he told her he would meet her there since he had to take a phone call. Rafe received some startling news over the phone after Jada departed on Wednesday's episode of Days, and he warned that things could become ugly. Rafe acknowledged that this would be beneficial for Xander after Xander and Sarah dropped over to discuss the track pants matter. He then promised to take immediate action in the morning. Sarah was filled with hope when Xander came home and thanked her for never questioning his innocence. Everett Lynch, better known as Bobby Stein, acknowledged in the bar during the Wednesday DOOL show that he saw a smiling version of himself while under hypnosis, but he was aware that it wasn't the real him. After he gave up trying to explain it to Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, Everett said he didn't inform Marlena Evans because he was suddenly eager to leave the place. Jada came over and made fun of Everett and Stephanie for being at the same table and continuing where they had left off. After Stephanie told Jada about Everett's hypnosis, Jada believed she should be aware of what he observed during his session. Jada thought Everett's claim that he saw himself grinning was just more typical Bobby narcissistic bullshit. Jada claimed she would pass on Stephanie's request for her to attempt showing some compassion. Everett told Stephanie he loved her and felt sure they could overcome their difficult challenges while Jada was at the bar. Rafe disclosed that Jada's divorce papers were never officially filed when he reunited with her and acknowledged that his Seattle-based legal pal had been looking into the matter for him. Rafe argued that Jada was still Mrs. Robert Stein legally, and she looked horrified. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Ava Vitale served Harris Michaels an Italian dinner at the bistro. Harris told Ava that she was all he could have asked for and more in a woman. Harris put on his charm and they danced, and although she felt he was flawless in every other way, she overlooked his 2 left feet. Harris thought Ava would reopen the restaurant, but she rejected the idea because it had devastated her life. Ava thought she would find a solution this time, something legal, even though she wasn't sure what she would do next. Wendy Shin was obviously shaken by the kidnapping event and constantly wanting to check the locked door while she was at home in the Wednesday's Days program. Joey Johnson delivered them some beer and steins, while Trip Johnson tried to divert Wendy's attention with a game of Jenga. Trip consoled Wendy after she ended up wrecking the tower and suffered a panic attack, saying he was sorry for setting her off with the beer smell. Trip and Wendy eventually decided that if they were meant to be, they would endure despite some discussion about their improvised marriage while they were in captivity. Due to this, Wendy and Trip made the decision to revisit the steps they had neglected and put off worrying about the wedding for the time being. Days of Our Life spoilers indicate that Wendy's trauma will likely continue to cause her problems, so we'll give you our predictions on how this will impact her relationship with Trip. Case closed, skeptical, trauma lingers. While one character is adamant about clearing their name, another is still dubious about their ex, and trauma haunts one relationship. What can we expect to happen on Wednesday? It's time to get started. Wednesday, April 3rd. DOOL teasers suggest that Xander Cook and Sarah Horton will visit Rafe Hernandez with the intention of clearing his name. Fans are aware that Stephen DiMera shot Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, and that Xander is innocent. Harris is aware that Xan did not shot him. Will Zara's proof be able to clear Xander once and for all? Speaking of Harris, on Wednesday's episode, the two will go on a special and private date following their day in bed with celebrity companion Ava Vitali, Tamara Braun. According to Wednesday, April 3rd spoilers for Days, Everett Lynch will share his most recent hypnotic insights with Stephanie Johnson and Jada Hunter across town. Jada will doubt Everett's story based on what she's heard, but what about Stephanie? Last but not least, DOOL spoilers for Wednesday's episode indicate that Trip Johnson will come to the realization that his girlfriend Wendy Shin is still traumatized by what happened to them while they were held captive in the beer tank. Nobody can quickly recover from being abducted and held captive, but why is Wendy so traumatized, and can Trip assist her in getting over this? To discover out, fans will have to tune in. Anticipating the concert on Wednesday? Comment below with your ideas. Tate, the upcoming Romeo and Juliet in Salem, will forgive and move past Holly's actions, but will his parents? According to previews for the next week of March 25th, Holly Jonas will at last take responsibility and acknowledge that the medications she overdosed on were her own. Tate Black will be freed and able to go on when this declaration clears his record. He will forget and forgive his best friend. He could even think that their romance can continue where it left off, but will Brady Black and Teresa Donovan treat each other with the same courtesy? The extent of Tate's concern for Holly was revealed by actor Jamie Martin Mann in a recent interview with Soap Opera Digest. He obviously feels something for her, even if she was his first real love and they do have a youthful romance. She has experienced a great deal herself, including losing her younger brother and witnessing her mother Nicole Walker's, Ariane Zucker, devastating collapse. Tate will eventually forgive Holly when she plumps up the courage to tell the truth about the medication she took. It's difficult to imagine Thready doing the same, though.